gamers, and welcome to episode 388 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for September 10th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
What date did you say? You say 22nd?
I said 2022nd.
2020. Oh, you say, why'd you see that?
I don't know. Because I was reading it and I don't know. I read it weird.
Oh, it's all right week, man. Football is here now. Yep. As of tomorrow will be the first Sunday of football. We already had Thursday. Already had the Bills really beating up on the Rams, the Super Bowl champions. The Bills look really good. I mean, some people had predicted them to win the Super Bowl this year. So, I was a
little surprised that playing fantasy, the top guy, the top prospect was the Bills quarterback.
Yeah.
Not really being familiar with him.
So they have high expectations, so they really showed it off for the first game. It was a little sloppy because there was some turnovers in there, but they ran away with it in the second half. It could have been worse actually in the first half if those turnovers didn't happen. Also, college football started also. I know Maryland won their first game. There's been some close games out there, but I'm not going to go through all of them. There's too many colleges out there, man. I'm just going to talk about the one side I watched. And I think I watched the Maryland game, and I watched the Florida was playing against, who were they playing against? They were playing against, was it Oregon or Utah? I know it was one of those West schools, and they were higher rank. And Florida beat them. They upset them. Florida was home though, so it was a good chance. But Florida, I mean, it was a close game, man, and it was coming down to the wire. Teams were scoring, both teams were scoring at the end, but Florida came away with it. Yeah, it was good. I think because somebody threw an interception. I forget what happened. Anyway, what else happened? Oh, well, I already talked about Serena, her last match. Yeah. But Coco Gauff was still in it as of now. She is still in the U.S. Open.
Oh, okay.
So representing America. I think there's another American. Well, she beat an American, Madison Keys. I don't know if there's another woman American in there. I know for the men's is American. This black dude. I know his family's from another country. He was born. I believe he was born here, but his family's from somewhere else. I forgot his name, but he's upset Nadal. He beat him.
Oh wow!
And so that was a huge upset. And now he's really making a name for himself. In there, yeah, because I ain't never heard of this dude. So I'm rooting for him. I think there's other Americans who I don't know them either because I've never seen them win anything for tennis, the majors anyway. So if they get to the finals or something, I'll root for them. Yep, America first right here, baby. That's what I am. Proud American in sports. Proud of American sports. What else? Oh yeah, so the NFL, you got the Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to see I don't think he said it, but I'm trying to see if he said he's going to play, but they have not come with a decision for a contract. They failed to reach it. So this might be his last year. I mean, it might be his last year with the team. I'm wondering if he's going to play, or he's going to hold out and just say, I'll just lose money this year because I don't want to risk injury for the next year. I mean, hell, Deshaun Watson missed what? Was it 2 years maybe of football? And then he's about to miss these next 11 games. And he got paid a hell of a lot. Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder what Lamar Jackson is going to do. Yeah, man. I mean, it's sad because I like watching him. I like watching him play. I'm rooting for him. I'm not a Ravens fan. I'm a Commanders fan now. But I I still rooted for him. But yeah, this is pretty bad. Like for how much he accomplished, it's like, yeah, y'all got to come with a deal, man. Like what he got to do? I mean, I guess the only thing he didn't do is win a Super Bowl for you yet, but he won MVP unanimously.
Yeah,
he's one of the only ones unanimously to have like unanimous vote. He's I mean, he's broke records for like rushing as a quarterback, man. I mean, he's been awesome for this team. I mean, this team has been great. I mean, they kind of go over the hump, they kind of the Super Bowl, but I mean, they compete. I mean, damn. I mean, there's other people who's getting paid that haven't won a Super Bowl. So
yeah,
you can't just make that like an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what else is there? Baseball, my team, the O's aren't. They're still behind, but it's not looking good. They got to go on like some winning streaks now to really get back in it. It's like they're not out of it though. There's still a chance, but them losing to the Blue Jays, who is competing for the playoffs also, didn't help them.
Yeah.
Kind of make them fall back to earth. Like, darn, we're almost there, but we're not there. But I don't know. I mean, we still got some games left, and they're not totally out. But they technically control their destiny. Really, I mean, if they can just win a lot of these series, they might can inch in, and take the place of at least one of these teams. But it's got to either be them or the Tampa Bay, or Seattle has to falter.
Mm-hmm.
And those teams been winning. They've been winning lately, so I mean, we'll see. But hey, they've done so much better than what we expected. I'm happy for this year. Happy to have something to watch this summer, like as far as the O's, because I mean, I have not really looked at them for the last few years because they always sucked. It was just embarrassing to watch them. But yeah, so yeah, that's cool. I think that's it for sports. I mean, as far as I really watched or anything, I know soccer in the UK is it's been like on halt because of the passing of the Queen. I'll be pissed. I say like if they had stopped like football or something because the president passing away or dying or something, man. I mean, unless it's on the day of, I say okay, I get it. But I'm like, if it's like days away, we got a game. I'm like, yo, we can still play. I mean, we can do two things at one time. I can man,
cry for the president and cry because my team is getting whooped on.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, now it happened like the day or the night before, day before or something. Maybe yeah, you do that. Even though I don't know about the night before, I'm like, no, you people pay his money. It's like, yeah, just open these games up, man.
Exactly.
it's
a lot of ticket sales you got to deal with. Refunds.
Yeah,
it's complicated. Just let it happen.
I was like, it's. I mean, the country still goes on, but you can still show your support. I mean, it's like, hey, the president supports football. I support football. So hey, there you go.
Just put your head down while the anthem's playing instead of looking up joyously at the sky. That's all.
Yeah, I was like, darn, they stopped the soccer games. Like, darn. All right. So what's going on with wrestling, man?
All right, Dominic. Wrestling is exciting right now because last weekend we had 3 events. We had the WWE Clash at the Castle. That was entertaining. Not really going to go match by match, but that was some good wrestling. They're on a good path right now.
At least the Queen got to see that before she passed away.
Exactly. She traveled to Wales to watch that, and that's what made her sick. She probably got COVID or something. So after that was the NXT Worlds Collide event where they were doing like the NXT UK versus NXT proper brands. Basically, NXT proper dominated all the NXT UK guys. And also the guys like came down from the main roster, like Ricochet came back to fight for the North American Championship, and the NXT guy Carmelo Hayes won that. So it was all right. It was fine. And then there was AEW All Out. This was a good show. I saw a lot of people saying it was long, but I've had that complaint about AEW shows for a while now. And to me, it actually wasn't particularly long. There were a lot of matches, but some of them, they were on the short side. Like they kind of swerved it a little bit. Like they had a Jungle Boy versus Christian match, and that just kind of went down in a couple of minutes because apparently Christian is injured. And it actually ended before midnight. So that's like the first time I remember that happening for AEW in a while for one of these big pay-per-views. So to me, it actually didn't feel that long. Now, it was all good matches. A lot of exciting stuff. The Trios Championship with the Elite versus Dark Order and Hangman Page. That was a really good match. So the real interesting thing about wrestling right now came after All Out ended. AEW will do this thing. They call it a media scrum, basically like a press event. They have these wrestling journalists in the crowd, and they'll sit there with Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, and the champions, and they'll ask questions and whatnot.
Now, are these you say wrestling journalists? Are they really third-party people, though?
Yeah. Okay, they don't work for the company. The term journalist is maybe a little how do I say this? Generous. Okay. It's kind of like the video game thing, right?
Okay. All right.
It's like you're really kind of regurgitating the information you're finding out from your press people. Now,
so it's not real. So it's not really like sports journalism. Then it's not like they don't do it like sports journalists.
It's probably closer to that than video game journalism. Like they have people on the inside. They have leakers and kind of insiders.
Oh, okay.
That are feeding them some of this information. But at the same time, wrestling, especially with like WWE, things are always so up in the air that some of these guys will say something and then it turns out not to be true, but that doesn't mean it wasn't true as of 5:00 today. It just happened to not be on the show. Like when Vince McMahon retired, there were rumors that Brock Lesnar left because he was like, if Vince isn't here, I'm not here. And a lot of people said, a lot of these journalists said, hey, he left the building. Then later on SmackDown that night, he appeared. So everybody was like, oh, these journalists were wrong. Well, recently, Triple H actually had an interview with Ariel Helwani, who's like a big MMA interview guy. He's, I think, on ESPN. He's a pretty big sports journalist guy. And he confirmed that Brock Lesnar did, in fact, leave that day. So, like, a lot of these guys kind of get thrown under the bus as like, oh, their information isn't that good. But for the most part, I think these guys are just trying to do their jobs. And sometimes they have better informants than others. Sometimes plans just change. But that kind of led into the incident that occurred. So CM Punk beat Jon Moxley for the World Championship, the AEW title. And they were in Chicago. It was kind of expected once they made this match happen. CM Punk was champion. He got injured. They did an interim title. Jon Moxley won that. So then they had a match to like unify those. Jon Moxley beat him in basically a squash match. So people thought, okay, they're moving on from CM Punk. But then they did this angle where it's like, oh, you're better than that kid. You can do this. Where, CM Punk's friend Ace Steel comes out and basically gives him a rah-rah speech. And then he's like, yeah, I'm coming back and I'm going to win the title in Chicago. So he wins the title in Chicago. So we go to this media scrum. The first guy goes to ask a question and CM Punk's like, I got something to say before we start this whole thing. And he starts talking about these wrestling journalists who reportedly years ago when CM Punk left WWE, he recorded a podcast with his at the time friend Colt Cabana, where he basically slandered WWE and slandered one of their doctors because basically he had a staph infection that they were not handling appropriately. They were just giving him Z-Packs, basically meds, and trying to, push it off instead of getting whatever surgery he needed or what have you. So that Dr. Amen, actually ended up suing CM Punk and Colt Cabana because it was Colt's podcast. And as an agreement, CM Punk at the time said he was going to pay Colt Cabana's legal fees to cover him because Colt Cabana's an indie wrestler. He doesn't nearly have as much money as CM Punk at the time, who was coming out of a WWE career. At a certain point during that trial, apparently Colt Cabana felt like the lawyer that was representing both of them was kind of throwing him under the bus and more trying to protect CM Punk. So Colt Cabana said, look, I want to get my own lawyer. And apparently there was a disagreement there about whether CM Punk had agreed to pay for a separate lawyer or not. So they very quickly became not friends anymore. And cut to now, CM Punk is returning to AEW. Colt Cabana is actually a hired talent by AEW and had been for quite a while. CM Punk comes in. All of a sudden, Colt Cabana is not on television anymore. And then we find out that instead of re-signing with AEW, he gets signed with Ring of Honor, which Tony Khan also owns. So basically, he kind of got demoted to the B show. At the time, there were rumors that had something to do with CM Punk. So all of these dirt sheets, all of these wrestling journalists were kind of spreading that information. Not necessarily saying it is fact, but maybe, alluding to the fact that that could be a potential thing. Because let's be realistic, CM Punk, this big name who has had, awful things to say about Colt Cabana basically since their whole split. He's the guy in the position of power. If he said to Tony Khan, look, I'll come work for you, but I don't want this dude around me, then even if he doesn't direct Tony Khan to do it, Tony Khan's probably thinking this probably isn't a good idea. He's a big enough wrestling fan to know the history there. So cut to the present, this media scrum. CM Punk's talking about this. He's talking to this one journalist, Nick Huntsman, and he's like, I heard you do improv. Who'd you learn improv from? And he's like, Scott Colton. That's Colt Cabana's real name. And this just kicks off a tirade of CM Punk talking about why are people associating me with this dude? I haven't been friends with him for 10 years now. I've got nothing to do with this. All this stuff starts going in on the EVPs at AEW, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. They're also wrestlers, but they're also executive vice presidents. They got titles when they started the company. Basically, not calling them out by name, but basically saying they're spreading these rumors. They're letting this shit leak. They're making up this shit. Calls out Hangman Adam Page by name, who he had previously said in a promo on television, basically this dude needs to apologize to me, completely, seemingly unscripted. Calls him a fucking airheaded motherfucker or something like that. Just going in on these people who are part of your company, and Tony Khan's just sitting there wide-eyed, letting it happen though, doesn't stop him. And this just goes on for 5+ minutes. Talks about Colt Cabana some more. Talks about how they were suing each other because Colt sued him for the money for the lawyer, but then they stopped suing him because Colt Cabana shares a bank account with his mother. And that's all he needs to say about that. That, speaks to someone's character or something. There can't be a legitimate reason why you share a bank account with your mother. Just goes fucking off. All the while he's just sitting there eating a fucking muffin. And then, he leaves the room finally. They bring in the next people. And if you're watching the media scrum, you see one of the police officers that's in the room kind of rush out real quickly. So allegedly, the Young Bucks went, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, seemingly along with, based on what's being reported now, Christopher Daniels, who is also a wrestler, but he is like basically head of talent relations, and the like head legal person at AEW. Apparently, they all went to CM Punk's locker room to confront him or, whatever, talk it out, do something. And that led to a melee where CM Punk started throwing hands at Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. Apparently, or one of them. And then his friend Ace Steel threw a chair at, I think, Nick Jackson, and also pulled Kenny Omega's hair and bit him. A grown-ass man biting another person. So now all of these people are suspended. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega won the trios titles on that pay-per-view. They have been suspended pending full investigation, even though the more details that are coming out, it seems like they were trying to handle things somewhat professionally. You don't bring legal counsel with you if you think you're going to get into a scuffle, right?
Yeah.
CM Punk, who just won the championship, he's been suspended, so they've dropped all those titles. On Dynamite, they had a title match for the trios titles and the Death Triangle, Lucha Brothers and and Pac. They won those. They're now having a tournament to crown the new world champion. It also sounds like even if this all hadn't happened, CM Punk was injured during his match with Jon Moxley, so he would have been out anyway. So now people are saying, there's some things out there saying that like this was premeditated on CM Punk's part. Like as of 2 weeks ago, he was saying like, you should watch this media scrum after the pay-per-view. Other people, I don't know about other people. Maybe it's just me speculating, but like basically once he realized he was injured, he was like, I'm going to be out and I'm not happy here. I'm just going to go like full rabid animal in the corner and like get super self-defensive about everything. Like CM Punk seems like a dude that has a really strong ego and really thin skin. So like immediately upon like being chastised or criticized by anyone backstage, it seemed like he was kind of set off. So now we're at a point where we don't know if CM Punk and or Ace Steel is also like a producer for AEW. If they're going to be fired, it seems like there's a good chance that either they're going to be fired pending this investigation, unless something comes out that like their actions were warranted, or Ace Steel's going to get fired. Like he literally bit a dude like and threw a chair at someone. Like like if he gets fired, then CM Punk's like, I'm out too. But it very much seems like the consequences are probably going to be more on CM Punk's side. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks will eventually come back once this investigation is concluded. But there was like a day there where people were speculating like maybe Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks go to WWE because like Tony Khan sat there and let CM Punk say all this stuff. Like he's clearly not backing up his dudes. He's siding with CM Punk. So like maybe they're just going to be like, fuck this company. I don't need to be here. Needless to say, like it was a long Labor Day for wrestling fans because it was just like details kept trickling out more and more. It's like, okay, there was a backstage scuffle, and then next thing you know, the stuff that I heard about like Ace Steel biting Kenny Omega, like at first I thought was just like a joke or a meme, like oh my god, and then like the more times I saw it reported, like they're being serious about this. Like he really bit the dude. But it's been crazy, and it's unfortunate because like MJF came back, who has been off television for a while now after their last pay-per-view. it was speculated that maybe he wasn't going to show up at that pay-per-view because he was basically upset about not being given the pay that he thinks he deserves. And he is one of the top stars there. But when he started there, he wasn't a huge name. And in the meantime, and it was very early on in the company, and in the meantime, they brought on guys like CM Punk. They brought in guys like Bryan Danielson from WWE who are getting huge money contracts, I'm sure, especially when you compare them to a guy like MJF who came out of the indies and was there at the beginning of the promotion. So I can understand being upset by that, but it sounded like he wasn't, necessarily going to do business. He was kind of holding the company hostage almost. But now it seems like they turned that kind of like real life scenario into this kind of storyline thing, which some people are hoping can happen with the CM Punk stuff. But like CM Punk to me just seems like kind of locker room poison. Like even with WWE, like what WWE did to him was not right. But he's also just a guy that's never gonna play along. Some people on Reddit basically said what I think is very true. Like CM Punk or Jon Moxley is what CM Punk thinks he is. Like Jon Moxley had a hard childhood. So did CM Punk. He had a hard time in WWE sometimes. Like he was the top guy, but he was never the top guy. But like Jon Moxley was smart about it. He let his contract run out. He didn't, ask for his release or anything so he can still get residuals. Meanwhile, Punk just took his ball and went home and then trash talked WWE on a podcast and got sued. And, here he comes into AEW and he talks a lot about how, he's going to put over these young guys and help them grow. And meanwhile, it's been all about him. And whether that's on him or Tony Khan's booking of him, that's the way it's been. And now here we are, like with this dude who just feels very self-important and is willing to throw like the entire company under the bus to make sure that his version of the story gets out. So it's been wild, Dominic. It's been wild.
Yeah, that is. I think that's the most I ever heard you really talk about wrestling. In a while. I mean, unless you're describing like a whole pay-per-view match or something. But yeah, damn, that is a lot of drama. That is
so much drama.
God damn, man. That sounds like a good storyline.
And that's the thing. Like, if you can get those guys back in a room, you could make money off of this, but I just don't know if CM Punk's the guy that's going to be willing to play along. Like, I don't know if he can turn around and go like, okay, guys, I apologize for that, but now we're doing business and, I'll put you over in the ring or you'll put me over in the ring or whatever. I don't see that being the case. So it's wild.
All right. So now we're going to get to what we've been watching. So I think we've been watching the same things. Hold on real quick.
Sure.
I'm not on the page right now. Trying to see what you got here, what you watched. Yeah. Okay, just see. So Pinocchio didn't come out yet, did it?
Pinocchio did come out. I have not watched it yet.
Yeah, because you're going to be one watching that. And you have to tell me if it's worth watching. Because right now I have no interest.
Yeah.
All right, so what you think? I saw both of these. So
okay,
what you thought of She-Hulk, man? Well, I guess you talked. I guess I go first. She-Hulk, it had its moments. I did like it.
Are you higher on it than last week's episode?
I wouldn't say that.
No, about equal.
Yeah. I did like the moment when they were fighting the goblins or whatever the things were and put them into the portal. But the whole other stuff, like the whole dating scene stuff, it was just so. I don't know. Like if this was some other time, I don't know. Maybe it's just the moment I'm in. If this was some other time or something, if this is like some years ago, and this show came out, maybe in like the mid 2010s, to like the early 2000, like to the late 2000s or something, I think I would like it more. I'll be okay with this. If I saw nothing else, like I really saw nothing else Marvel show and saw this, I will be fine with this show. It's like, oh, this is a cool spin. It's just that it's almost like this show is like how those quick jokes are in every Marvel show, movie or show. Like they have those moments, but that's not the whole movie. You know, you say, oh, like this is the funny moment. Okay, this is the moment we talk about. It's like, hey, this is pretty funny. It's like this whole show is that.
Yeah, and they're taking those lighthearted moments and spinning them into 30 minutes.
Like I said, if there wasn't this whole Marvel universe, or like we were still in the first phase or something, or second phase or whatever, I will be okay with this. I think after seeing so many of these Marvel shows, movies, content, it just feels like, like this is too much.
Yeah, it's oversaturation.
And I didn't like the idea of making it like, oh, I can't get a date. And I'm looking at her like, I'm willing to bet that if you just went on Tinder or something and put your profile out there, you will be getting a whole lot of likes. Like, I don't see how they make it like, oh, but now I'm the She-Hulk, I'm getting like, oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you get more.
Oh, yeah.
But that whole story of like, oh, she's not getting a whole lot of people liking her because of her regular look. I'm like, she's a lawyer and she looks pretty damn good.
Yeah. And she's relatively famous.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I was like...
I mean, she was like the district prosecutor or assistant prosecutor, and then now, you know, people still know that she is the She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, exactly. And even if you just didn't know she's the... Somehow you missed that news, that like, of who was the She-Hulk, like who she was. Like, maybe you don't remember the face. Maybe you just remember the She-Hulk part. Just that profile within itself would be enough. And like, she's not bad looking.
No.
I don't get it. And just like the end of the...
Nobody wants an attractive lawyer that makes a bunch of money, Dominic.
That's very weird. And then at the end, when she was with the guy, and then I guess he woke up and saw she wasn't, he was like,
yeah,
who are you? That's why I got confused. I say, okay, so do people not know that she's a She-Hulk? I thought it was really well known. I mean, maybe it's not well known. I don't know, but I feel like you dating her, you would know what she is.
Yeah.
Like, you went on a date with the She-Hulk, you would know who her regular form is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for him to come and then he's like, oh, I'm just going to leave. And I'm like...
He's got a Hulk fetish, Dominic, that's all.
And that's what I wanted to get at. I was like, was it that? Or was it because of... What am I supposed to take from this? Am I supposed to take, like, he's being a jerk?
He's a pervert.
Oh, because
really
the way they make him out to be was like a nice guy, really. But...
Yeah. It was a weird turn to take, because, yeah, he does come off like he's a really cool, nice guy. And then all of a sudden, like, he's weirded out by the fact that she's not the She-Hulk anymore.
Yeah, that didn't... I don't know. Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I could say something like, oh, the sex was painful, and I'm hurt, and I have to go to the hospital, and that's why I don't want to see you no more. I can understand that.
Right.
That was freaking weird. It's just, yeah, I think it's just too much. And the way you talked about the first episode, talking about, oh, that's that lady who was in the God show, or whatever the hell it was, The Good Place. Mm-hmm. And you were saying, and like, it almost made like it was a big deal, because then I saw her in the ad too, and on Twitter, because it was showing her spray paint in the sign of the lawyer sign of the She-Hulk. So it was like, oh, I'm the bad guy. But then I never saw her again. So I was like, she didn't do nothing. It's like, she's supposed to be, because I keep seeing y'all talk about this woman, but she's not. If she's even she hasn't even been in the episode since the first one.
Yeah.
And I think I'm assuming now she's gonna be in the next one, but it's just weird how you advertise her and I don't see her. Like,
I think that's basically suffers from the fact that apparently that first episode was originally a lot further into the series but at some point they decided, oh, we actually need to kind of show her origin up front instead of like rewinding back to it. So Titania in like entering the courtroom there was probably supposed to be a lot closer to her than like suing her or whatever, you know, closer to this episode maybe. Or, you know, maybe it even came afterwards and maybe that's why she came to the courtroom.
Yeah. It could be anything. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It was something
like her suing her for the She-Hulk name is coming before her then entering the courtroom, but they just didn't handle like the rearrangement of that very well. I could see that being the case. Because I feel like at some point it's going to lean heavier into her being there. Like I feel like she has to be the antagonist of this series.
That's what it made it out to be. That's why I was very confused. I was like, okay. But anyway, how many episodes is this?
I believe it's 9.
9? Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I see a lot of people who really enjoy it. Like I'm looking on Reddit forums. Sometimes I see people say, I actually see more Reddit forums where people enjoying it than hate it. Mm-hmm. I just find it funny when I go to the people who enjoy it. They all talk about the people who hate it. And I like that somebody actually said something. I mean, like, I guess there's like, they were like, you must really be looking for the people who hate it because I don't see it a lot. I mean, I see some, and that's how I feel because I don't like the show and I don't see nobody agrees with me, and I feel like I'm the one left out. I think, I'm the only one. Let me go up here and start writing hate then because I seem like I'm the only one doing it. Let me go. But anyway, I think there's only one forum I did see that was kind of middle-ish. Like it was people who didn't like it, but they also, it wasn't like, oh, woke, like this is because it's woke or something. So I was happy. I was like, okay, these people are actually having a real discussion about this.
I was going to say legitimate criticisms.
Yeah, not just like the wokeness crap. But yeah, so which is like people are saying about the Lord of the Rings because out there saying like, man, they put in all these different races and Lord of the Rings and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that ain't what's the problem on the show is though. That's not why the show is not. That's not why I don't dislike the show is because there's a freaking black elf or a black hobbit or something, man. It's like I don't give a damn what the fucking race is. This is made up shit. Like now, somebody made an argument saying like, yeah, but based on these tales, they were done by white people. So when people had the vision, they were all white people. I said, yeah, that's true, but that's how people. Yeah, that's what all stories are. Like they're made. People usually vision like. Back in the old days, they envision what they are or where they are. Right. So yes, if it's a European old story or something like that, I mean, Lord of the Rings is not European. Really, it's old, but it's not old. But either way, it was like your European like old story. You're going to think mostly white people. That's legit. Just like if there's a story in Africa, you're going to think about African people. There's a story in Asia or China or something, you're going to think it's going to be mostly Chinese people. But now the world is not like the world's not like that anymore. I mean, especially in this country, it's not like that. So they're not gonna. It's gonna be that people are gonna include something else. I mean, if it's a period piece, yes, you're gonna try to make it real, but it's a fantasy. So
exactly, that's the thing, right? Like it may be based on like European sensibilities, but it's in a completely different fantasy world. That doesn't mean that it has to be, you know, ethnically white in that way.
And the thing is, with the Game of Thrones, there was a tweet somebody put out, and like, they didn't really say a lot of words. They were just saying like, you could tell they were saying this is a problem. They showed it. This is from the second episode. We can go right to dragons now. I mean, no. I got actually about She-Hulk because I ain't talking about that. But before I get to that, they posted a picture of the scene where it was the king with the very young girl who was like 11 or whatever she was. Yeah. And you're thinking like, oh, he's talking about the age difference. No, he's talking about the girl being black. That's what he has a problem with.
That's what he's got a problem.
Yeah, and that's because that's what the retweet was. Somebody said, I thought they had a problem with it was the age they had a problem with.
Is
That's
that
the
because
race.
like in the book she's not, or is
I
it
don't know.
just like I don't like this interracial couple situation?
Because people were talking about like, oh no, they were supposed to be all white, but I don't know what Valerians were. I know what the other what the Targaryens. I mean, only from the show. I mean, I didn't read the book, but I'm like, they look like they're making all the Valerians sort of black from what I've seen, like they're darker skin. I mean, so I don't know what's the problem is. What's the problem with her being half black? I mean, she's like half and half because her mother's Targaryen. I don't.
Right.
What's the issue here? Like, what's the issue? I don't know what's the issue here. Now, the only issue I would have with race, like putting things for me personally, is if there's a black person, a white person, and they come up with a Chinese child. That's the only thing. like it's something shit like that. That's the only thing I would have a problem with because that don't make any fucking sense.
Right.
But other than that, like, they keep it consistent. It's not like they're just putting people, mixing them up, and it don't make sense. I'm like, what's the problem here? Like, how you think like they're trying to be woke or like I said, I don't mind inclusion as long as you don't fuck with the story. As long as I fuck with the story, as long as you're not like literally virtue signaling. Like there's a literal like CW shows, they literally do it. Like this, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I mean, if you want to do if that's part of your story, then yes, go ahead. But there's ways to do it and with better writing, like to have it in there without having to be like, oh yeah, this is a message. I mean, House of Dragons kind of does that though, because they do it with like how they don't want a woman to be the king. Oh, like the leader. Well, she'd be a queen, but she's the lead. And they do it in a way that it doesn't feel like it's virtue signaling. It feels like that's the story and that it fits. Like this ain't that. That's what I'm saying. It's like this ain't the woke shit. It's like y'all bitching over some small potatoes here. Like this is nothing. Like there's problems with the Lord of the Rings. There's problems with it. Ain't nothing to do with that. It's just boring as hell to me. That's what the problem is. But back to She-Hulk. So how'd you feel about She-Hulk?
I still thought it was a lot of fun. I'm watching it.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Excuse me.
You just like horrible things.
I
was joking.
I'm watching it as it's a very surface level thing for me. Like I'm not thinking about it too hard. It's just, 30 minutes of pretty entertaining fun for me.
Yeah, if you think it's deep, it's deep. You think it's deep. This is how you feel. If you think it's like a what's that movie called? It's one of those classic movies.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. Yeah, if you think it's like Citizen Kane, Daniel, that's okay.
Yes, this is the Citizen Kane of the Marvel universe, Dominic. No, it's fun. I liked Wong, like Wongers as Madison with two N's and a Y or whatever.
See, that's where I cringe at. But I saw a lot of people did like that, and I was like, I think I cringed because I knew people was going to like this. I said, damn, I've got to hear this. So that's another.
I mean, I've always liked like overly cringy, sitcom-y type stuff, and that's what this is doing, and that's why I think I like it.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're to House of Dragons. So how you like this recent episode?
So this episode was interesting. I want to get your opinion on like the timeline here we're seeing, because we've jumped forward again here. Now he has a male heir, and kind of the conversation being had is whether he's gonna move on to having this kid who just turned 1 or 2, maybe 2, be the heir, or if it's gonna remain Rhaenyra the daughter. And there's also that moment, like, I guess just to go into spoilers, like where the hand is talking about like, well, you could marry her off to your son who's 2 years old.
And then you said, and so it's funny because he just says he's 2 years old. I'm saying it's my fucking son.
Nope. This is Targaryen's, Dominic. It's all about incest for them.
I know, man. I mean, shit. I look at the freaking royal family. I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
So
I mean, shit, yeah, because like the young girl in the previous episode, when you think about it, not only is she young, but also she is the daughter of his cousin, right? So like, still in the family.
Oh, the hand is the cousin?
No, the young black girl.
Oh, who he was going to be? Yeah.
The one who they were proposing he marry.
It was his it was his, because that's his sister. Is that his sister?
I think that's his sister, right?
So
like
that's his niece. So his niece.
Yeah. So like they keep it in the family, Dominic.
Like it's just about it's just political gain, which is like weird. I was like, but there's other people who you're not related to get political gain.
Right. Like, you could, you just have her marry this Lannister dude, and then you got Castle High Rock or whatever the fuck that shit's called.
Yeah, well, I guess he was, but she didn't want to be with them. Spoilers, people. I mean, shit.
Nah,
I mean, just get it. You just know by now. We're just going to spoil the shows. But, okay, so how I feel about the time jump you were saying. So
yeah, because it seems like this is escalating like very quickly.
Oh yeah, that's what definitely feels like. It seemed like they take a different approach than what they did with the original Game of Thrones. But then again, like, are these based on books? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
So are the books? The books are like that, I guess.
I think they're kind of speed running through the books a little more.
So what books are these?
This is George Fire and Blood or something, I think.
So what's the 7th book he didn't make? So I'm confused.
Honestly, I don't know how any of these fucking books break down, to be honest with you, Dominic.
Wait, okay, this is this another series?
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know if he's got like multiple series or if like, yeah, I just don't. I've never been familiar enough with the books to know.
That's why I was confused. If that's why when I did the show, I think it was just something made for the show, and like because he's working on still the other series. I didn't realize he had this book, and I'm like, is this part of like? Is there like a line you're supposed to read? How you supposed to read Game of Thrones? Is like all those books are? Is this part of that, or is this a separate? I have to look that up, but. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it does seem like they're going pretty fast. They're moving along in a different pace, and I mean, I'm okay with that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm like missing anything necessarily by it, so I feel like they're doing a good job of keeping what's important, developing these characters, but also kind of moving briskly through this timeline.
I mean, because they think about it,
more important events.
What happened in between? I mean, the most you miss is probably some of the battles of the Stepstones, over the Stepstones. But other than that, like in the castle, it's just going to be the girl moping around and hating everything. So I think I'm glad they fast forward to that because I damn sure want to see that for like episodes.
By doing that, I think the only thing that I feel like I missed out on was like any development with the crab feeder, but it doesn't feel like they were doing any, like that character wasn't going to get developed anyway. It was like just basically like fodder for this fight, even though I thought that character looked really interesting. So I would have liked to see him explored more.
Yeah. I believe I think you would have found out that his mother was a crab and his father was a human, and that's how he came to be.
I thought it was like a Mirelurk or something from one of those big crabs just crawling out fucking people.
So at the end, the whole thing you're supposed to take away is that he went and fought without the king's help and won?
Basically, he got like so fed up and pissed off that he thought that the king thought he needed his ships or whatever, that he was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it on my own.
But what did he send? So who sent that letter? Was it
the king sent that letter?
No, who sent the letter to the king?
The original letter. I'm thinking it's probably the one guy that was like dissenting from the group. Yeah,
the brother, the guy's brother, the Valerian's brother.
I'm thinking it's his. Corliss's brother.
That's the only, because I was like, if he sent it, I was like, what the fuck is he pissed off about?
Right.
I was thinking he was pissed off because it was too late. I mean,
right.
like,
Yeah.
but I saw like it was just them. I said, well, watch, they're gonna win, and then so it's gonna make it so he won without him, so they still gonna be at each other's. I mean, not they're gonna eventually be. I think it eventually be gonna be at each other's throats. At some point,
absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to know when those ships come, what they do. It is like, I guess we sail back.
It's gonna fucking burn them to the ground with this dragon, probably.
Oh, yeah.
The dude's clearly got anger issues, Dominic.
Yeah, exactly. It's
and I think the drama's just gonna escalate, and then you have like at some point, like they focus too much in the first 2 episodes about like the king's kind of like weakness and frailties, like having the maggots eaten off his fingers and stuff like that. Like that dude's got to die sometime soon, especially with how quickly they're moving through these episodes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't really see him be sickly anymore. I'm thinking like, what, those maggots, you did it? It's like, and I didn't really see his hand. I didn't really get no focus on his hand. So
he had gloves on, I think, like all of this episode.
All right.
So I wonder if that's part of it, because I feel like he's going to die. We're going to be moving so quickly that his son's gonna be of an age where like there's going to be maybe like a 3-way kind of challenge for the crown, basically. You know, somebody will side with his son as like the true, like the fucking hand would probably be like, oh, it's got to be the son.
Yeah.
So he's going to side with him and like try and push him onto the crown, even though he's like 8 years old or some shit like that. And then Rhaenyra is still going to be like, look, my dad made me the fucking heir. I'm going to be the heir. And Damon's still out there like...
Because that damn deer went to her. That white deer.
Yeah, she was a coward. She didn't kill it.
I wish she would have killed it, because then I wanted her to kill it and bring it back.
Yeah.
See, that's what I thought it was in the woods, not a boar. I thought the deer was going to come out.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the deer was going to come out. They was going to kill it, and then they was going to come back to camp and be like, "I got this bitch."
Yep.
Yeah, and say, "Hey, I'm the fucking queen."
And that's what I thought when that deer did show up and she told Cole, like, no, don't do anything. I thought she was like, I'm going to fucking do this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of fucked up that you're going to hunt this deer that seems to be rare.
I mean, Targaryens don't appear to be the smartest people.
I'm like, you should just kill the regular brown deers. I mean, the white, oh man,
the fucking brains are going to mush just fucking generation after generation.
That's how you feel. But I'm thinking, yeah, like, what the hell? See what Peter did to us? Because he did CG deers. We could have got some weird deers, and we could have painted one white and really had one. But no, we got a CG deer where he killed it, and I was like, come on. What else happened in this episode? Yeah, like her sulking and just being pissed. Like, I don't mind that. Like I said, I just want a whole bunch of episodes with that. So I'm thinking like, we move it along.
We can definitely speed run that bit a bit.
Yeah. But this, it's good overall. I'm enjoying this. Like, I'm really enjoying this series so far. So it's like, I got something I really want to watch. After Better Call Saul, I can kind of get into. I am into it. Into it. So that's good. So I guess we get to what we've been playing. So I guess you go ahead first.
Yeah, so I've just been playing more Tinykin. I actually beat it last weekend. I like that game a lot. It's relatively short. I think it was like 8 hours for me to beat it. I tried to get as many of the collectible pollens in each level as I could, but it just got to a point where I like couldn't find them anymore. And that's one like shortcoming of the game that I would have liked to see is like a quality of life thing, is like, even if it's just after you beat the game, give me like a little pollen tracker kind of thing to indicate where I may not have found these things. Cause these levels are very big and each one has like somewhere between like 900 and 1500 pollen in it to collect. And I like the collectathon type stuff, especially in a 3D platformer.
I know, because you fucking did that stupid shit in Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I collected all the flags in Assassin's Creed too. Like, yeah, I'm into that stuff, but at a certain point when it just becomes like almost impossible, and I feel like I'm searching every like corner of this map systematically, like that's where it doesn't become fun anymore. So it would be nice if they gave you kind of like a maybe hot and cold thing, or just put on your map like here's the general area of the stuff that you're missing. I would like that a lot, because apparently there's also a thing to like make sure you get all make sure you collect all the tinykins in each level, which I have no idea where I'm at as far as like that. It would be nice if it told you in the menu, like you have this many out of this many, even if they didn't just show you where they are. But yeah, I thought that game was fantastic. It was the perfect length for me. And I watched some of the Pikmin stuff since we last talked about it, and it still doesn't click in the same way as this does for me, because it's not mostly a 3D platform.
You don't wear glasses and look like you.
That's what it is. Yep. I just relate too much to this character, Dominic. Nah, it's just the 3D platforming aspect of it is done very well in this game. And I like that a lot. I'm a big platforming guy. So using that along with the Pikmin mechanics, I think is a great combination. So I'd love to see a sequel or something similar to this game, even from a different studio, if somebody grabs onto this concept. It's really good.
All right. So I've been playing some more of the Nonary games, the Nonary game 999. So I said last week about the game that is different endings. So I was working on the good ending, but actually I was working on a safe ending, because I had done one ending, because you can't get the good ending unless you do the safe ending first. And thing is, I was doing the safe ending first, which is the coffin ending. And I got that, and I was very confused. I was like, this is the good ending? I was like, this don't seem that good. But then I had read somewhere like, oh no, you have to do the safe ending. I was like, oh, I have to do it. So I have to do it 2 more times. I gotta beat this game. So, but like I said, luckily you can just go back to a certain point in the game and just start from there and just go a different path. So you don't have to play the whole game over again. So that's a good job. And it kind of explains while I'm going through the good ending now. I did a safe ending. Why you're doing different endings, because there's some things your character would say he knows, but you only known it from the last ending. But it's like, you learn there's something to that. Like, why does he know? It was like, because he even asked himself, why do I know? But now I'm getting to a point in the story where I'm learning what's going on. Like how I like the story so far. It's pretty cool. I also like how the way they talk about things, you would think it's real. Like this is a real story. Like they talk about, like, because you're supposed to be on the Gigantic, which is the Titanic sister ship, but that's not. There is this Titanic sister ship in real life. It's not called a Gigantic, yeah. but they call that Gigantic. But then they would talk about all these stories about the Titanic, and the way they go through, it's like, oh, is that really true? It's really true. Then I go look it up, and then I realize, oh no, because somebody said the same thing. So are these stories true? And somebody said no.
They're spreading misinformation.
Yeah, they said these stories are not true, but the way they describe it, it just feels like it's real. It's like it's one of those like urban legend like kind of things. And so it sounds like, or I feel like that is real, but it's real urban legend. Like the one where I forgot what it was, when the guy who went into the Egyptian pyramids and opened a coffin or whatever, they said he got cursed, and they said when he died, they said his dog died at the same time. Like he was somewhere else. He died somewhere else and around the world, and his dog was at his home, and they said his dog died at the same time. I remember reading about that. I don't know if that's totally true, but some people are saying it is. I mean, like, I was like, whatever. But that's a real story. And like, I was thinking like this stuff was like, because like they said there was a casket on the ship of the Titanic, but when they got it, it was like an Egyptian thing, but they found it floating in there, and
Nice.
What else there is? And yeah, I mean, it's very animated. They got this lady who's barely showing her tits are just hanging on for dear life. I mean, but they make fun of it too, though. Yeah, because the guy said like, I don't, even though she don't look old. But you know how Japan are with like if you're like over 20, you're old. So because one guy was like, God, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be like you, this indecent person. I said, what do you mean? Just like I ever want. I said, yeah, but I don't. Nobody wants to see like a freaking shriveled up raisin wearing a damn small top or something like that.
Good Lord.
And I'm looking at the character. I was like, she don't look old.
She's 21.
Yeah, I was like, but I guess in that, like, hey, you over 20, man. You old. You too old. All right. So what else have I played? I'm still playing through Trails of Cold Steel 4. I'm at the last battle. I'm fighting like these last bit of people, and like this, it's getting close, man. And I'm feeling the tears. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be crying near the end of this. I know I am. But yeah, I'm still trying to get through that game. I did try a new game this week. The JoJo Adventure. What is it called? JoJo's
Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, All-Star Battle R.
All-Star Battle. Yeah.
So this is a fighting game based on the JoJo Bizarre Adventure anime / manga, I guess. Manga, which came out. They think it's like the 35th anniversary of that. I just saw. So yeah, it had a lot of comics, and I think I got a little bit of better understanding what this shit is, because even though I watched like a few episodes, I didn't understand the show. But it has different arcs, and it takes place in different time periods of the I think it's a different time periods of Earth. Like I think this was like Victorian time period that I am now. I mean that it starts with. I don't know if it's Victorian, but I know it's like, I know Jack the Ripper was there or some shit. I don't know. But so it was around whatever the hell that was. Then it goes into another time period where it's another person, and they're just part of the JoJo's lineage. Basically, that's what it seems like it goes to. Because I always see this woman and on the Netflix advertisement for JoJo, and I'm like, who is she? And then she's supposed to be, she's the first female one. She's a part of his lineage too. She's part of his lineage. So it deals with that. Now, I don't know any more of the story besides that, because I was, as much as I was going to read at that moment about that show. Because I just wanted to play the game. I'm mad that it's no English dub. It's freaking Japanese. I'm tired of shit. Especially when you got an anime where it is English dub. I'm like, y'all could have fucking paid the actors to do the voices on this, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I have to. Well, I'm not reading it. Like if it's come too fast or something, I'm not going to be reading like what the hell they be saying. I mean, it's just a fighting game anyway. But the fighting game is 2D, but it has like they sidestep like 3D, where you press A button, you kind of sidestep. So it's like it's 3D, but 2D at the same time. Like 3D environments, but like 2D fighting style. It's not like Tekken. It doesn't feel like Tekken or Virtual Fighter or Soul Calibur. So far, all I played with was the original JoJo. So far, just trying them out. I'm still getting used to the controls. They're similar to what the Dragon Ball Z controls are. A bit in that way. You you don't have really like it's not a tag team. I don't think you have that, but you do have a partner like assists. You have assists where somebody comes out and do something. Excuse me, and you could pick anybody. It seems like you pick all the characters for assists in that game. Visually, it looks really good though. Like it looks really. I like the look of the game. That's really the reason why I want to try it. Honestly, it was the visuals. I do like the look. So I can't really have a good judge of really how I feel about it. I mean, so far it feels okay. JoJo, I mean, so far he doesn't feel that great to me. I'm still like I said, I'm still trying to get used to the controls. Haven't tried anybody else yet. So maybe I might find a character and it's like, oh yeah, I like using them better. So yeah, I'm gonna probably play some more of this game and get a feel for it. But yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, like the looks of it is all right. I don't like that it's not English dub though. They didn't say they had the money for that. I guess it's not popular enough for that. I thought it was. But or people just going cheap because let's like I'm mad at One Piece Warriors. I gotta fucking read every goddamn thing. All right, so that is it for what we've been playing. So I guess we take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2012. So this week in 2012, we got Trying to, and I'm not on the page. Okay.
Goblin Menace.
Yes, this is the expansion for Trying to. I was trying to get you to play with me, but you said I don't like it. And then I said, "You're an idiot." But it's a co-op game, like a side-scrolling kind of action RPG-ish kind of thing. It's 2D. It plays like a 2D, though. I mean, it seemed like it was fun, but I didn't really play much of it because I wanted to play with another person. It's like it has just puzzles and stuff like that. But it's been popular because hey, it's been 3 of them.
Yeah.
Has it been 4 of them? Has it been a 4th one?
Did they just put out a Trine 4 recently? I'm not sure. Trine 4. Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince. That came out in 2019.
All right. So yeah, it's been a pretty popular series.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm Alive is on Windows now.
Yep.
So I think we talked about that. I don't know what this is. Is this worth talking about?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Mark of the Ninja is out for the Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And you can talk about this because I didn't really play it.
The game's really cool. It was made by Klee, and they're the guys that also did Shank, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it has a very cool art style, basically like flat, kind of cartoony looking. But in this one, as you would suspect from the title, Mark of the Ninja, you're playing as a ninja. It was a stealth side-scrolling 2D game. It was really cool. I liked the bit I played. I wish I had played more of it, but I just came out at a time that I wasn't playing stuff like that.
So here we go. We got Anomaly Warzone Earth. What the hell is this? This is look like a top-down tower defense game. It came out on PlayStation. I think it came out on other systems too. Well, actually,
I've seen it before, but I'm not that familiar with it.
It came out earlier this year for Xbox Live Arcade, and it actually came out on Windows in 2011. So it's just PlayStation Network is just getting the game. Also on PlayStation Network, I think, did it come on 362 this week also?
Yes.
So Double Dragon Neon is out. This is like the new Double Dragon beat 'em up. This game is hard as shit to me.
Yes. It was cool, but it was way too hard.
Yeah. And I was there. That's what pissed me off about it, because I was like, yeah, this is a nice game. And I played the demo, but then the demo was hard, so I never bought it. We got it free, I think, because it came with gold. Mm-hmm. So that's why I got it, because I know I didn't pay for it.
I think it was on PlayStation Plus at some point, too, eventually.
Yeah, I think it was. And it's Way Forward did it. I mean, so they're known for making decent, like 2D games.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
They made this one pretty hard. I mean, I guess they're trying to be like Double Dragon, but I was like, damn, you couldn't just put an easy mode.
They didn't know we were weak millennials, though.
Yeah, that's why I am. And it's like, god damn.
I'm looking at these scores, though. Like, god damn, IGN gave it a 3 out of 10.
Jesus.
Like, what
God.
happened, IGN? Like, did somebody piss on your Cheerios? Because, like, everybody else is giving it 7s, 8s.
This is all over the place. Like, I mean, okay, take out IGN. I mean, the lowest score is like a 6.5. Which is weird because then you see EGM gave it a 90 out of 100.
Right.
Now Edge got 7 out of 10. Game Informer got 8.25 out of 10. It's kind of like, it's kind of all over the place. So I guess maybe those people got low scores were like me or a million scores. They're like, hey, I'm too hard.
That's exactly what it is. IGN just couldn't beat the game. They're like,
I'm trying to see. No, they ain't put the IGN comment up here. I wanted to see like why they have it so low. All right. Anyway, what we got here? We got Finding Nemo: Escape to the Big Blue Special Edition. Is this when Dory came out or something? Because this is 2012, isn't it? Yeah. Or it's just a Finding Nemo property. They were just doing a game.
Finding Nemo property because I don't think that's when Finding Dory came out. Yeah, that didn't come out until 2016.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that 3DS game, and I don't know what it is because when I click on it, it takes me to Finding Nemo in the movie. So, hey, try it at your own risk, people. All right. NBA Baller Beats came out for the 360. And this is the Connect NBA game. And it can teach you how to be an NBA player.
Yeah.
It got Darren Williams was on the front. Damn, I remember Darren Williams. He used to be on Utah. And then he went to the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. And I think he's been other places too, but that's why I lost him. I lost him at the Brooklyn Nets. I never found him again. All right. So, but yeah, this game was a Connect game. It got 7.5 out of 10 off everybody. I'm beginning to think 7.0 from GameSpot. But I mean, that's not horrible scores.
No,
that's actually okay.
It's an interesting concept, like you dribbling a real ball to coincide with these songs, you know?
Yeah. Though your mom will get mad at you dribbling in the house, so I mean, I don't think she'll appreciate that.
That's they got to come out with a Switch version of this, Dominic, so you can take it outside.
All right, so what we got here? We got NHL 13 is out. Yep, that's right. Hockey games be coming out now, and they got the great Claude Jocks. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but he played for the Philadelphia Flyers back then. They have an exclusive Stanley Cup Collector's Edition where you get the HUT packs, they call it. The Hockey Ultimate Team.
Ah, there it is. The Ultimate Team. That's where they're making the bread and butter.
Yeah. All right, so what we got here? We got Tekken Tag Tournament 2 came out.
Yeah.
And darn, you know what? That's a big leap from when 1, because 1 came out when PlayStation 2 was launched.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that far. But yeah, so Tekken Tag Tournament 2, I think it was free to one system. I don't know, it was Xbox, maybe both though now, but I feel like we have this and we got it with gold because I think
gold,
like, yeah. So, because I did try this out, and I mean, I didn't really grab me or anything. I wasn't really into it. Though now that I've seen this, I do kind of want to try it again to see maybe I like it. But yeah, Tactic Tournament. And I'm looking at trying to see what the reviews are here. Damn, this is a long Wikipedia page. Jesus. All right, so Metacritic gave it a 83 on 360, 82 on PS3, and an 83 on Wii U. I mean, Wii U was basically 360 and PS3. But did they use that damn controller? If they used a Wii U controller, that big fat controller, I want to see how you give it the same score. They were using the Wii U Pro controller. But anyway, yeah. This it got decent scores. Okay, so like it was a decent game. Game Informer got 8.5. I'm trying to see what's the lowest score I see. The lowest score I really see is like a 7.7 from Edge and a 7.5 from IGN. It was nominated for the best fighting game when Spike TV Game Awards when they were going on, but they lost to Persona 4 Arena. Boo, that anime bullshit. Boo. So, all right. So, I'm going to try that. Because that is on PC, the Persona 4 Fighting Remix. And I kind of do, I kind of want to try that. I hope it don't spoil Persona 4 for me, though. I didn't play that yet. I want to play it when it comes to Game Pass. All right. So, what we got here? We got Farmville 2 is on Facebook, was released. I didn't even know there was a Farmville 2. Farmville, I know, was huge.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Farmville 2 was not that big. Let me see what it's saying about Farmville 2. Zynga game. Give me, sequels. Farmville 2 was unveiled on the June 26, 2012. So, wow, it relatively came out real quick. It differs from Farmville in a number of ways. That's all it says on Wikipedia.
It's different. Just buy it.
I don't know. They didn't have no reviews or nothing. I don't know if people liked it. Let me look at IGN. Maybe they got something here. No review. Up here. No review. Come on. Building crops. They just tell me how to build crops and everything. Blah, blah, blah.
It's hot strategy guides for
bastard.
Farmville.
I'm going to say this is probably the best Farmville game ever, and you should go find it if you can. All right. So what else we got here? We got, now I got to make sure, because it wasn't on the wiki that this came out, but it was on Moby Games. And I want to know if it really came out.
I don't think
this
that's
week.
right. Because I saw October.
Yeah, okay.
Of 2002
so I'm not going to
for
say
Blinks.
it. I'm not going to say it then. All right. So now we're okay. And actually, I shouldn't be saying it anyway because that's 2000. I was on the 2012. Okay, so now we're done with 2012. So now we're going to 2002. We're going 20 years ago, and we got Armored Core 3 on a PS2.
Ooh.
This is a Square Enix. Well, it used to be Square Enix, and I think I believe they did because I remember seeing. Oh no! I get Armored Core confused with what's it called? Square Enix robot strategy game.
Front
Mission or
Front Mission.
I think it's. Let me see. I think it's Front Mission. Yeah, I get it confused with Front Mission.
Oh, okay.
I always get these two games confused because they're both about robots and they blow up shit.
Yeah,
but
this is the one from Software, Dark Souls developers.
So, oh shit! That I left the page. Then, yes, I did. So yeah, so From Software. So is this a hard ass game? Well, this is when it's still doing okay games that I can play.
I feel like it was probably still on the hardcore side. I like this snippet from gameplay on Wikipedia. As a new feature, Armored Core 3 supports USB mouse for emblem design.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Armored Core 3, I mean, I'm assuming it was popular because they went to 3 of them, at least. But it didn't. I know it didn't do well for the PSP, but the PSP, damn, that's like long after. So it probably was like the same game and just not really well ported. And plus, PSP has a knob. So maybe that didn't do so well for it. But I got a 74 on the PS2 on Metacritic. I got an 8 from Edge. Game Informer gave it an 8. I mean, it's 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it got like decent scores. I mean, it had a following for this game. I never really played it. I think I might have played a demo of one, but I just don't remember it. But yeah, Armored Core, it's like this Mech Assault, Front Mission. Front Mission is more strategy. Yeah. I always get those games confused because all mechs and stuff like that. And, I feel like I'm missing one. But yeah. All right. Here's a big one. Dino Stalker. And because I remember playing this in an arcade. And it's because I always say, like, hey, this is a Jurassic Park game I wanted. Right? You get a gun and just shoot them. Where there was a Jurassic Park game like that, but it never came to consoles, and that was always bad. So Dino Stalker, which I would think they should have just did Dino Crisis. Like, why you just do Dino Crisis, like shooter thing, Capcom? I just use that. You already have a license, but it's a horror light gun shooter, and it's an offshoot of the Resident Evil light gun shooters, but wait a minute. It says but based on the story of the Dino Crisis series, so it is.
Oh, okay.
But then why they call it Dino Stalker?
Because they didn't want to ruin the Dino Crisis series if it was awful. Which, I mean, this looks bad. You're like shooting brontosauruses in the neck. That's messed up, Dominic.
Though it can be played by other means, a light gun is recommended. What other means besides a controller?
Touchscreen on my emulator.
Oh yeah, this game is horrible. It got a 50 out of 100. The highest score I see is Game Informer at 7.25. Oh no, actually Game Zone, which I never really go there.
Was it a cover story on Game Informer?
Nah, it wasn't a cover story. But Game Zone gave it a 8.4. I can't trust those Game Zones, man.
No,
I can't even click on it. They don't have a Wikipedia page for this. Can't trust them. But yeah, it got a lot of mixed reviews. Douglas C. Perry of IGN criticized the game's controls after the first mission. Your hand is in pain.
Oh my god.
The
dinosaurs.
The carpal tunnel syndrome you didn't have before throbs in fiery, extended agony as if to say hello. And you have just started in the dozen plus levels you played through. The slow paced, awkward control is not only annoying, but it hurts you. What are you? Was he playing with the light gun? How the hell? I feel like happened?
He had to been playing with a controller.
Yeah, let's play with a keyboard.
Probably not the way to play.
But
also,
yeah,
this is giving me a headache. Like all the flashes from the screen. Bad.
Did they have that warning? They didn't have to do that warnings back then, right? They didn't have to. Well, technically, do you have to do those warnings now?
I think you do.
Oh, okay.
Because of us weak millennials. And our soft brains.
All right. So what else we have here? We got, this is real huge. This is really big. Battlefield 1942 was released. Is this the first one?
That's the first one.
This is the first one? This is huge. Now, Battlefield, I didn't really know about until Bad Company. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I knew of it, but it was a PC game that I had. My PC was nowhere near powerful enough to play, and online gaming was not a thing to me, really.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really in my mind, but I realized how huge it is. I mean, this was like you really being a war. I mean, there's been no game really like this.
Yeah, it was like, this is where you could get in vehicles. You could get in a plane or a Jeep. You're driving around these levels and trying to take over these spots. It was awesome.
So basically, this is a time when Medal of Honor was big. So it was like, oh, this is Medal of Honor, but like you're on a battlefield with a whole bunch of people. Yeah. And I'm trying to think, what was this one? Was this 32 on the first one? Was the first one 32 people?
Oh,
or was it 16? So. Was it 16?
I think it was.
The game developed by team of 14 people. Oh, okay. No, it was saying team of 14 people made the game. Oh, that's the development. Damn. 14 people.
That is crazy to think that only 14 people worked
by a team of 14 people at Digital Illusions. Battlefield 1942 was built on the formula of the less well-known and successful codenamed Eagle video game set in the alternate history of World War One. It featured single and multiplayer modes and blah 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 blah. Okay, so I'm trying to see.
I never knew that DICE stood for Digital Illusions CE.
Oh man, I thought it was just like a dice. They say we're going to be there's some dice, and they say we're going to call ourselves Dice. Is Dice and then the Dice like the Dice Awards? They had nothing to do with them, right? Or it does.
I don't know. To be honest with you,
I always got that confused too. I was like, they got their own award show. Why didn't they should always just pick their game to win?
It should also always just be Battlefield.
But hold on, let me see. Okay, I found it. For a team of 32 on a 64-player match. Oh, damn, they did 64.
Okay, it was 64.
Darn. So no wonder people were angry when they got like on the consoles. It was like, what? Only 32? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I mean that shit was great, man.
That had to be mind blowing. Like, because you never play a game like, you say, oh my god, there's like 32 people, and it's like you're fighting a war. So this is what war is like. you can just die and respawn and come back and help.
And you just stand around waiting for a plane to spawn, and then you get inside of it and you crash it immediately.
Everybody can be. It's like this is like war. You could be a medic, a scout, or an engineer. You know how to ride a tank, fly a plane, or you don't know, like me, you would just crash. It's like, hey, man. I mean, it sounded like fun when I was reading about it. I used to get jealous. It's like, oh man, this sounds like fun to do, and I finally did it. It was fun.
Yeah, I never got that game, but I had the demo for it, which was the Wake Island demo, and that was just so awesome. Just like I said, waiting for the plane, and then you get inside, and then you're like, I can't drive this worth of shit, because you were supposed to use like the mouse for like up and down, and it just didn't make any sense.
Oh god,
I would get in the Jeep, you drive over with your team to the flag, and just fucking raid that shit.
Yeah, Battlefield. I mean, it's a cool game. It was. I mean, I like the concept. Oh shit! I just closed my window here. Open. All right. So what else we have here? We got Mega Man Zero for the Game Boy Advance. Came out, and I mean, I believe this is a pretty damn good game.
Yes, I liked it 82. A lot. It was very 82. Much like Mega Man X, but you played as Zero instead, which I always thought Zero was the cooler character because he had a sword, even though I never really played any of the games with him in there.
Whatever. Zero, just like Trunks. People like Trunks and Dragon Ball Z because he has a sword.
Yep.
But he ain't no Mega Man, just like Trunks ain't no Goku. He ain't no Vegeta.
Trunks is better than Goku. He saved his life. Came from the future with like disease remedy or something.
But that's right. Oh, but you know what? It's funny how somebody was saying like
and cut Frieza in half.
Things they want in Dragon Ball. A guy was like, I want Vegeta to finally actually beat a villain without Goku having to beat him all the time. And that's ridiculous. And that's why I find it funny that people really like Dragon Ball Z that.
He killed Nappa.
I don't count. Nappa no. Every time I think of Nappa no how. But yeah, I was thinking like, why is Vegeta like? They always keep talking about like how strong he is, but I never see him beating anybody because it's always Goku who does it. All right. So what else we got here? Oh yeah, but Mega Man Zero. You said you really like it. What else you want to say about it?
That's about it. I mean, it's been so long since I played it, but it's just traditional Mega Man style game, and I think it was on the easier side because at the time I probably would have only played like Mega Man X and definitely had trouble with some of those bosses. But I think I got a lot further in Mega Man Zero. But it also could have been because I was playing on emulators and I may have cheated a little bit using save states.
And what's the story? What's the story of Mega Man Zero?
I don't know, to be honest with you. You're Mega Man, you're Zero, and you're trying to save Mega Man, probably.
But like, where Zero come from?
Where does Zero come from? I don't know, to be honest with you. Let's see. Wiki says the game is set. He's born by Dr. Light fucking a machine.
Oh.
Well, no, he builds them, but I don't know. Maybe Dr. Wily built Zero and then he turned into a good guy. I feel like that's that type of story, right? It's like he was
like a Knuckles or a Shadow Hedgehog.
Exactly. Something like that.
Which is still the same Sonic game. But I think Shadow was actually created. I want to say Shadow was like
I think he was made like in a lab.
Yeah, he has no mother. It's just a tube, baby.
Genova.
All right. Yeah. All right. So what we have here? Oh, that's the biggest one, Daniel. That's the biggest release. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, 20-year anniversary of this great 3D platformer, the most underrated one. I mean, this man people say he was better than Mario. He was like Mario, and if Crash Bandicoot Mario had a baby, this would be the game. And it would be the ultimate platformer.
Ty does what Nintendo don't.
But this is EA's platformer, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. And I mean, they made 4 of them.
Yeah.
There's some sequels. I mean, some kid bought them. I mean, I never played it, but I mean, it got rated a 70 on PlayStation 2. It came on GameCube and Xbox 2 also. And then, they got the HD release. And hey, HD release on Metacritic got 70. So it made good. It's like, hey, it's keeping, it got the same score. So let's keep it consistent.
Yep.
It ain't get worse.
That's pretty hard in a world that gets better every day, Dominic. So.
Well, but Eurogamer didn't like the original. They gave it a 5 out of 10.
Just didn't have taste.
Yeah.
They're biased against Australians, Dominic.
And All Game gave it a 2.5 stars on Xbox. Whatever All Game.
They're probably
is.
New Zealanders. They don't like the Aussies.
Where's All Game? It is a US. It is a US site. It said it was active between 1998 and 2014. And then it disappeared. All right. So what else we have here? We got the Scorpion King, Rise of the Akkadian. The Akkadian. All right. What is that? Is that that's his tribe or something? Or that's his people.
It's like an arcade, but Sarcadian rhythm.
Yeah. This does not get good scores. It got 49 and a 47 on GameCube and PS2. Xbox.
I wonder if that's higher or lower than the movie score.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie.
I don't think I've sat down and watched the movie either. I've seen parts of it when it was coming on like WB or whatever.
I think because I saw the reviews for it and I was like, I'm not going to bother seeing this. Yeah. I wanted to see The Rock. He should have had more time in the damn Mummy too.
I didn't want to taint my perception of what was an amazing series at the time.
I was so mad because he was like front line and center for that Mummy 2.
Yep.
And I was like, man, this Rock ain't in there. And then he's not. And then he's just a monster, 3D monster at the end. It's like, what the fuck? Screw. But he finally gets it, but it was too late. It was too late for me. All right. Well, what else we have here? We got The Thing. Came on the PlayStation 2. The Thing is based off the movie. This is supposed to be a horror game. And Vivendi, Universal publishers.
I feel like I remember this being well received.
I remember people talking about it, but yeah, I mean, it got 77 on PC, 78 on PS2, and 78 on Xbox. Only Eurogamer man to be hating games. Gave it a 5 out of 10 on PS2. But everybody else gave it a good score.
They just know that 5 actually means median game, where everybody else believes that 7 does.
But yeah, this wasn't a game I wanted to get. Even though I did see some decent scores, I was scared.
Yeah.
So I was like, nope, I don't want to be scared. I don't want these monsters to jump at me. I don't know if I've ever seen the original Thing movie. I don't think I yes, but like I said before, talk about The Thing is that
was there like a remake of that movie?
I want to say it is. I saw the Xbox version of that situation, and I'm sure there was a Star Trek version of that situation. There was a lot of situations based off The Thing.
Yeah, 2011. A remake of that came out.
All right. So now we also got a Tarzan game that came out. Disney's Tarzan for the Game Boy Advance. Return to the Jungle. So Tarzan, I guess he was with Mary Jane. That's what's her
just
name?
Jane.
Oh, correct. So she was with Jane, and then he was like, "I gotta go back to the jungle, man. I'm tired of these humans.
Yep. I gotta hang out with Phil Collins some more.
Yeah."
Smoke some weed with Rosie O'Donnell and chill in a tree.
All right, and I got a few other games. I got Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Zeon. It was a Mobile Suit game that came on PlayStation 2, and it's not my Gundam, because my Gundam is the Gundam Wing, and I don't like these old mobile suits. And then there was Eggmania for the PlayStation came out, and I believe this is like a puzzle game or something, and I don't know. Not on the website for it.
I don't know, but there's a place called Eggmania in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's where I'm at here. I'm going to say that that's what that is then. It's a restaurant, and you should go by there, people.
Eggmania Egg Stream Madness is its subtitle, Dominic.
And the reception is 75 on Game Boy Advance, but it's a 64 on PS2 and 64 on GameCube, 658 on Xbox. So yeah, it's probably not even worth getting.
Looks very Tetris-y.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it now too. Yeah, it does look Tetris-y. All right, so that is it for the flashback segment. So we want to take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Now we're gonna get to the gaming news. What we got, man?
All right, Dominic. So D23 is happening this week for Disney, and along with that, they did a Disney and Marvel game showcase. So this was like a quick 30-minute thing. They just kind of briefly went over a couple of the games that are either out or coming out soon from those properties. They kicked it off with Tron Identity, which is coming from Bithell Games. Mike Bithell, the guy that did like Thomas Was Alone and a couple other games.
Oh, okay.
Since then. This is going to be like a visual novel, but it's also going to be like more puzzle focused. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of dialogue in there. So something that Mike Bithell is pretty good at. So yeah, it seems like it could be cool.
I was hoping when I saw Tron Identity, I was like, oh, a series or something like that, because that animated series was great, man. Like I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
like that was really good, and I was so mad when it got canceled. But I think it had a decent ending. I don't know. I mean, it had a kind of open ending, but it wasn't. I don't think it was disappointing. Like I felt, but it was. I actually might watch it again because I think about it.
Nice.
Because it is on Disney Plus, right?
I think so.
But yeah, it's just that Tron. They could have. The movie, it wasn't great. Like I talked about it. I watched it recently in 3D, and I mean, it was all right. It was a lot missing there. I mean, that they could have done better. I mean, I was surprised. But I guess the sales weren't that great for it. The ticket sales, because I was like, man, they could have done something good with that universe, but they didn't. So, oh well. I mean, I hope this game turns out to be all right.
Yeah, I don't think they gave a date on that. I don't remember seeing one. After that was Disney Illusion Island. This is the new style Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy.
Yeah, I'm not big on that.
No, I'm not huge on it either, but I do like the idea behind this game. It's a 2D platformer. It's got 4-player co-op. It reminds me of like Rayman, or what's that one that you were playing that was like a racing game, like Speedrunners or something like that? You know which one I'm talking about?
Racing game?
No, it was like a platformer. I think it's when you were down like in North Carolina, you would play it with your buddy.
Oh, I forgot what it was. Was it like Rayman?
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called.
I'm thinking it was like that. It looks like it's going to be like that. So it looks pretty cool. That's launching exclusively on the Switch sometime next year. Yeah, like I said though, the new style Mickey, the like edgy looking Mickey, isn't super appealing to me, but I don't hate it.
I mean, yeah, because it's like the black and white old Mickey Mouse, but it's
like
just
jaggedy. Like,
yeah.
It's like he's like zhuzhed up with some like, I don't know.
I want my 90s Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
He got his like button down shirt open, t-shirt, like jeans and these tennis shoes. I remember that. It's like my sister had this shirt or something like that. Yeah.
I hate to tell you, Dominic, but that was never actually Mickey. That's just what the shirts at the flea market look like.
Oh no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that shirt. I know what they are. It was my sister got from Disney World. We went to Disney World.
Yeah.
No, it's like it's the 90s Mickey. It's like, yeah.
That was the same time where you're getting like Bugs Bunny and Taz and like crisscross colors and jean overalls and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that. And yeah, you used to have, because they had the front and then you had the back.
Yep.
Everybody wanted those shirts because I was like, man, I want that shirt. I want a shirt.
Yep. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got Midnight Suns. That's the Marvel Firaxis game. That's got a release date again. It is coming out December 2nd this time, so it is still making it out this year.
I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be next year.
I am too, yeah. And they're going to be doing some digital shorts starting on October 31st to kind of set up those characters in this world. That game still looks all right, but I'm not like super excited for it. So
exactly. Maybe it might turn out something I want, but I'm just not in the mood for that type of game.
Yeah. All right. Next up was the Red Hulk is coming to Marvel Strike Force. That's that phone game that they've been running with for a while now. They also announced they announced a release date for Marvel Snap. That is the phone card game, and that's coming out October 18th.
Is this a phone card? It's not on PC or anything?
No, they didn't. I thought at one point they had announced that it was coming to the PC, but they only mentioned it being on Android and iOS this time. So I don't know if it's just like, yeah, it's a free-to-play one. So I want to try it out because the appeal of it is like it's super quick. They were saying like 2 to 3 minute, matches. So I want to see how that plays out. I want to see if it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that, but I just
want.
want to know why. Can they just put it on PC too? Shit.
Yeah.
I'll put it on everything. Fucking shit. I mean, what the fuck?
Exactly. Put that on Switch. All right. After that, they mentioned Aliens Dark Descent. They were just like, hey, yo, here's a little bit of gameplay footage of that. And
Aliens is oh yeah, because it's Fox.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that because initially they do like a quick like gameplay montage at the beginning of it, and I saw Aliens and I was like, that's weird. And then I was like, I guess it's not that weird. But yeah, it is weird, and that makes sense because it is Fox. So,
man, see, we shouldn't let this happen.
They don't own everything.
The government should have got in and said, "No, you can't buy Fox." No.
All right, Dominic, keep that same energy for Microsoft later. All right, next up, Avatar.
No, Microsoft is our company. Sony is Japanese.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but Disney's our company.
No, but it's just another American company, Fox. That's what I was saying. They
okay,
yeah.
I gotcha. They're hurting us. We're hurting ourselves.
Yeah, we hurt ourselves. Exactly.
Gotcha. All right,
we gotta compete against ourselves.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. They just talked a little bit about that game. Also, that's the one we had seen previously. That doesn't have a release date anymore. We also got Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. They announced that there's going to be a Galactic Edition coming this holiday. Apparently, the date for that is actually November 1st, and it's going to cost $80 on the console.
Wait a minute. We already got Lego Star Wars. Is this dispatch is going to be $80?
So it's like a Game of the Year edition, basically. They're calling it the Galactic Edition. It's going to come with 13 new character packs, which are going to be
13
like
new. So these haven't been released yet.
Correct. So they're going to have.
Can I buy them though for about the original? Oh, okay.
Yes. So it's 13 character packs. It's going to be like Mandalorian Pack 1, Mandalorian Pack 2, Rebels Pack, Bad Batch Pack, stuff like that. So $80 for the console version, $70 for the PC version. You're going to be able to buy this in 2 collections, Character Collection 1 and 2, as a full bundle of the 2 as $24.99, or Character Pack 1 as $15, Character Pack 2 is $15, or you can buy the individual like show packs or whatever for $2.99 each. So like they break it down incrementally if you want to just buy like a couple of the characters. This seems like a lot for what this game came out this year, right? Like it hasn't been a year old yet.
Yeah, I forgot that I played it.
So like
I totally forgot.
I can't sit here and say that the pricing should be like severely discounted, but it shouldn't be more than the original game was, because we are, let's say, 6 months past that game's release at this point. So,
man, yeah, I would have. I agree. I mean, actually, I would if it was $60 and it was just more stuff, but $60, I think I would be. I think I will be okay with that because it is still
absolutely.
the same year.
If you came out at the same price as that original game, because now you're 6 months later, but you've got content to keep the price the same. But for it to be $80, I don't think so.
No,
especially like there's so many characters in those Lego games already. Like, unless I'm dying to play as Cassian Andor or Reva, like
I want some story with this. I want like some new. You gotta give me like a stage that has to do with them too, like to really make it worth it. Because just playing that, because really, you're just playing another person who shoots a gun or like
another person with a lightsaber.
Yeah, another person with a lightsaber. It all depends what kind of. And then I guess another person who jumps super high because that's what Jar Jar does or something. I guess somebody who could bounce. I don't know, but it's like, yeah, I wish give me like a new stage that goes with those characters. Yeah, I'll be for that.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Dominic, they talked a little bit about Return to Monkey Island. We already knew that was coming out September 19th. Official Talk Like a Pirate Day. So that is very soon. We'll be seeing that.
Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yep. So that's looking good. The art style still doesn't like sit perfectly with me. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. It's cute. Next up after that was Gargoyles Remastered, Dominic.
I thought this was like when I saw it, I thought it was a show coming back. I was like, oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Honestly, like, maybe we do the show instead of the video game. Because I don't remember there being, like, a lot of reverence for, like, Gargoyles, the video game.
And that should have been packed in with the other Disney Afternoon game.
Exactly. They're trying to double dip here on us, Dominic, so I don't approve.
Yeah, because how much they're going to charge for it's just a Gargoyle game. It's like, okay, well, the Disney movie game you could at least packed in then with this.
They better be 15 at most. Now that I said that, it's going to be $70, but whatever. All right, after that, Dominic, was some Disney Mirrorverse content. There are villains dropping in October. Apparently, this is mobile RPG action game. I think it's like kind of a Diablo-esque thing. Apparently, that game's already out, but I don't know really anything about it. They just had a trailer there for it.
No Kingdom Hearts games shown.
They did include some footage at the end of this presentation.
Oh, they did.
They didn't talk about it at all, but they had like another like compilation at the end, and there was a little bit of Kingdom Hearts sprinkled in there. So they didn't forget about you, Dominic. #1 Kingdom Hearts fan. They got you. After that, they showed Speedstorm. That is the free-to-play Disney racing game. They're going to have Monsters, Inc. characters in there. So
is it going to be like Multiverse where rotation of characters? And
I feel like probably that would be the case. You know, and then you can buy the ones that you like.
And then you got to buy, like, hey, this... I don't know, like, what else can you buy? I guess decals for the cars.
Yeah,
because it can't be. Is there going to be power moves? Like, how they going to do that? Like,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, I can pay for better tires. Like, I would not be surprised. Well, I say better, but like different tires. Probably,
I don't understand that stuff in Mario Kart 8. When they got it, where you like, here you can pick the tire you want.
Yeah,
I don't know what the difference is.
They slightly tweak your stats, but like your character choice still has a much heavier effect on.
Because I'm like, if I got my character, the character is supposed to be stat. It's like, why are you overcomplicating a simple fucking game?
They're definitely overcomplicating it. Yes, I agree. I'm not huge on that stuff. I typically just choose the regular card anyway because it's the one I like best. All right. So Disney Dreamlight Valley was next. They showed off the Toy Story. There's a Toy Story world that's coming to that game.
Is that the one that's on Xbox?
Yep.
Game Pass?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we both kind of expressed interest in possibly trying that out. So
yep.
Maybe we'll talk about
kids
that
at heart, Daniel. We're kids at heart.
No, Dominic, I'm a Disney adult. That's what they call them now. You got to embrace it. All right, after that was Avatar Reckoning. So this is an MMORPG shooter for phones.
This is Reckoning. Like, you get to play as the humans and shoot them?
You get to play as the avatars and shoot them. Like, you're playing as avatars with guns. Navis is with guns.
It's got to be like Dark Forces. Like, you play the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like in the Star Wars, you know?
I mean, you might be, you know? Well, actually, you might be, because in that trailer, right? Like, they show bad guys having turned into Navis. So, like, maybe that's the story. That's the twist. You're going to find out you were the bad guys all along, Dominic. But yeah, there's going to be like co-op. There's also going to be...
and it's a phone game.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, don't care. Because it almost looked like it was going to be like Fortnite, but with Avatar. And then they were talking about, like MMO stuff. And I was like, I don't really understand that. But I guess you could kind of, depending on the mode that you're playing, you could kind of classify Fortnite as an MMO. Like, less RPG, obviously. But
the phone is only for, like, Angry Birds, Flappy Birds, and adult video game novels. Visual novels, adult visual novels. That's the only thing the phone's for.
All right, Dominic. Next up was the Amy Hennig Studio Skydance New Media, their ensemble game that had previously kind of been teased. It's not going to be a Fantastic Four movie. It's not going to be a Fantastic Four game or a X-Men game like people were speculating. Instead, it's going to be a Black Panther and Captain America game that's set during World War II. You're actually going to be the Black Panther you're playing is Azuri, which is the grandfather of T'Challa. And then there are going to be 2 other characters that are playable. So there are 4 playable characters. One is a Howling Commando, Gabriel Jones. And then
the black guy, right?
Was that?
The black guy.
Is he?
The Gabriel. I mean, that's what I saw on the cover. I saw a cover that was like a black soldier.
Yeah, like it's kind of silhouetted, so I couldn't quite tell, but he does look like he might be
silhouetted. I mean,
maybe I saw a different picture.
Different ones. Maybe you saw, because the one I saw, dude looked just black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're just racist. And you just saw
I just
black
don't
and
see
you say,
color, Dominic. What
saw a silhouette.
I see black people.
Damn, what's that disease called where people can't see faces?
Face blindness.
Well, no, it's a name for it. But I like that better because the name for it, is like, what the fuck? Scientific name for shit. All right. Damn, I'm trying to find it. I thought it was on Game Informer. This is where I saw it.
But yeah.
But go ahead.
Plays him, and then you can also play as a fledgling Wakandan spy agent, Nanali, who looks to be a female. So maybe one of the Dora Milaje or predecessors to the Dora Milaje. So this is interesting because we heard that there was going to be a Black Panther game, and it doesn't seem like this is that game. So we're going hard into the Black Panther games, Dominic. We might actually be seeing like multiple.
Yeah, that's something.
I do wonder, like, you've got this 4-player experience. We don't know what the gameplay is really in this game yet. It seems like it's going to be more single-player focused, but with 4 characters, it makes you wonder. Well, I guess not single-player, but I should say story-focused. But, like, you have to immediately kind of compare this to Marvel's Avengers, right? With 4 players. So, like, it's not.
Yeah, I see the one you were looking at.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I mean, you shall say one, but I can tell he's black.
Yeah.
All these people black. Ain't Captain America's black too. He's not. He's not black until, the Winter Soldier thing. And no, she's Dora Milaje. Yeah, I mean, it ain't that old. It ain't that old. I mean, because it's only going to World War II.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, I was reading the article. Yeah, they said. Yeah, I mean that's a cool concept. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely curious to play it. It's interesting that they're actually doing that.
Give me Uncharted, but with those characters and better combat. Not maybe. All right, Dominic, and then the pièce de résistance. That's not the word I'm looking for in it at all.
What? Is this French?
the showstopper, the capper for this. They announced Niantic, the people that made Pokemon Go, are working on a similar game called Marvel's World of Heroes coming in 2023. So if you thought people were dying down looking at their phones, walking around into buses looking for Pokemon, you're going to see the same thing with people trying to fight Thor and Iron Man or something, maybe.
Oh, so that's how it's going to be? Like,
I don't know about what you're going to be fighting. I think you're going to be heroes, obviously, but I just feel like this doesn't have the same appeal. Like, I know Marvel's huge, but like the collection aspect of Pokemon Go, I feel like is what made it so
exactly big. Like you're going out. What are you doing? You're going on collect heroes. Like, hey, come catch Spider-Man.
Gotta do team ups.
What the fuck does that even? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Because like the Pokemon thing kind of makes sense because you're actually collecting Pokemon like they do in the game.
Maybe it's gonna be like, hey, the Shocker is attacking the Five Guys down the street, and you have to go down to Five Guys.
Okay,
and, like, fight them or something.
I guess you do that. Yeah,
it doesn't.
I wish I was young again because there ain't no way in hell I would can do anything like that. I just feel so weird, just like a grown ass man. Like,
grown ass man staring at your phone, staring at your multiple phones. If you're like the Pokemon people who have like 6 of them. On a 3D printed bracket so they can catch all these Pokemon at the same time. Just wandering around random public locations. Yeah, I'm too self-conscious for any of that stuff.
Yeah, and I just feel like you gotta be a certain type of person. Like I almost feel like I can't see a black person in the city, Baltimore City, just run around doing that shit and things go wrong. Things are gonna go wrong.
I'm looking for this Ditto in the wrong part of town.
Yes.
I didn't realize. I mean, there were definitely those stories, right? With Pokemon Go, like, oh, these people didn't realize they were going into the wrong parts of town as they were looking for their Pokemon.
It was just black people. It was just that's all it was. And they didn't say, oh, no. Somebody wore a hoodie and they were in the wrong part of town. Yep. You know?
They just didn't realize these parts of town existed, Dominic, until Pokemon brought them there. All right. So yeah, that was the Disney Marvel stuff. Some bigger announcements, but we really didn't get a lot from this Captain America Black Panther game. So I'm just waiting to see more on that. Maybe from the Jeff Keighley game show or something. We'll see more there. So. All right, Dominic, next up in the news, we got Microsoft announcing that they're adding noise suppression to Xbox Party Chat. So if
15 years too late for me, man. Shit.
They are, yes. But if you got trouble with background noise, hopefully that'll help you out, and hopefully that'll help the people on the other end out not having to listen to that stuff. So that would be nice. They also announced the Xbox Elite Series 2 Core Edition. Now, this is an Elite Series 2 controller, but it's white with black grips. And it's going to cost $129.99 because it is not going to come with all the extra doodads. You're not going to get the back triggers. You're not going to get the extra D-pads. You're not going to get the extra thumbsticks. Now, you can use all of those things if you were to get them through other means, including you will be able to officially purchase them separately as a bundle for $60, and that'll include all those thumbsticks, the case, because this doesn't come with that either. So if you're looking for like a maybe more premium controller, but not necessarily looking for all of these things, because I don't know how many times you're like swapping out thumbsticks, this might be an option for you. $130 is still on the high end for me for a controller, but especially because we've heard so much about like the quality issues with those controllers. Like I feel like the Elite Series controllers have had issues more than I've heard regular controllers. And maybe that's just people being dissatisfied with them because they paid such a premium price for it, but still, and they're also adding the ability to do like custom controls, custom Elite controllers on the,
Xbox Design Studio. So that's pretty cool, because if you're paying a premium for your controller, it would be nice for you to also like customize it to your liking as well. So
yeah.
All right, Dominic, I talked about it, I think last week or a couple of weeks ago, Atomic Hearts, because there was a new trailer that came out for that. Unfortunately, it has now been delayed, which is kind of what I expected, considering they put out a trailer and didn't put a new date on it. It looks like now it's going to be coming in the first quarter of 2023. And that's that one that kind of looks like BioShock, or BioShock meets Fallout kind of thing. You know, got kind of Russian imagery with a Cold War kind of aesthetic. Singularity also.
Chernobyl light. Yes.
Yeah, Chernobyl light. Yes, exactly. All right, some other news. We got Tencent. They are throwing their money around again. They are now investing 49.7, very specific numbers, % in Guillaume Brothers Limited, which is Guillaume, or whatever his name is the head of Ubisoft. And they as a company own 13% of Ubisoft, but Tencent is loaning them money to purchase more of Ubisoft, up to 29.9% of it. And then Ubisoft is also directly offering Tencent the opportunity to increase their stake from 4.5% to 10%. So like overall that brings them to what, 39.9%, depending on how much kind of leverage they have over.
Stop playing these games. Just let the Chinese take over. Get it all.
So that's the thing. Like, they're taking this money, but then at that point, they're capping them to like not purchase any more stock for 8 years. So like, they're trying to give them like enough to keep them happy and give them more money, but also are trying to like keep their shares, you know.
Yeah.
Keep their majority stake, I guess.
Next E3, if they do come on E3, they're going to do what they used to do with Vivendi. Like, we're all one family.
Yes.
We're all together, holding hands.
And then Xi Jinping shows up and tries to take over. All right. Next up, Dominic, speaking of Ubisoft, we're probably going to see details of this stuff a little bit later today when the Ubisoft Forward happens, but as of recording this, we don't have any details yet, but there is some kind of leak out there basically talking about Assassin's Creed Infinity and kind of the settings they're going to do there. One of them is Japan, which has been heavily rumored for a very long time for Assassin's Creed, but they are also allegedly going to do some witch stuff, like witchcraft stuff, because they're doing like Roman witch trials or something like that, which sounds kind of cool. I mean,
America?
no, like Roman stuff.
Oh,
yeah, they had witch trials back then apparently as well, which I didn't realize until they talked about this setting a little bit. But I think that's cool because, like, we've seen with Valhalla that they're not afraid to like really lean into the more mystical side of Assassin's Creed.
Wait a minute, so is it Roman? This is going to be like Roman?
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be like Roman times.
Okay, like Julius Caesar times?
I'm thinking it's got to be around then. Yeah, but we shall see later today.
Because they were Greek. Details. They were Greek with
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
With the woman, yeah. So I was just saying, like, are they moving to Rome?
Gotcha. Yeah, it seems like they'll be doing Rome then. Yeah. So that seems cool. I want to see some witches in my Assassin's Creed. Mix it up a little bit. All right, then, Dominic, we talked last week about how Phil Spencer was talking about keeping Call of Duty on the PlayStation for the foreseeable future. So apparently that foreseeable future is about 3 years after their past current agreements, which we're not entirely sure what that is, but it seems like it's about like 2 years. So we're talking max 5 years. Apparently that did not sit well with Jim Ryan at Sony. He basically said that, I thought these were private business matters. In fact, here's the quote. I hadn't intended to comment on what I understood to be private business discussions, but I feel the need to set the record straight because Phil Spencer brought this into the public forum. And this is a statement to gamesindustry.biz. Microsoft has only offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends. After almost 20 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, their proposal was inadequate on many levels and failed to take account of the impact on our gamers. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality Call of Duty experience, and Microsoft's proposal undermines this principle. How dare them, Dominic? How dare them invest the money into this company and then decide what they want to do with its games?
Yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. He makes a statement because it's like we all know that y'all do it with third-party games, especially Japanese games. Like you did it, you're doing it with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Right now, with the remakes, and the Final Fantasy 16. As far as we know, it's just on PlayStation, and I think they said that. It says, I don't get it. Like Microsoft bought this company, they have the right to do what they want, and I almost feel like this is a good thing. They're actually letting it stay on your system.
Yeah,
like they're not just taking it away.
Being a little generous to try and bypass some of the concerns about regulation here in the United States. You know, some people have raised questions. I think also in Europe they've put out a statement basically saying like, we're going to investigate this a little more. So I think Microsoft is in the position where they're like, we're going to try and be friendly and give them 3 more years at least, you know?
Yeah. But to me, it's just, this is the business. Like, y'all all try to get exclusives, and like, this is what y'all were doing. Y'all want people to buy your consoles. So you try to get it like exclusives to your consoles, like you did it with the Spider-Man license. Like Spider-Man could have been on everything.
Yep.
But you kept it exclusive to your console.
And then you bought Insomniac.
And everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's because Sony owns Spider-Man." But I was like, "Wait a minute! I thought that was just for the movies."
Yeah,
exactly. So that was bullshit. It's like, but Sony didn't say that. There's people who were not ignorant, trying to make sense of it, and it's like, no, the sense is this: if they own Insomniac, and then they want it on their going nowhere else. They want people to buy it on their console. They want to buy their console, and that's fine. Like that's their right to do it. I mean, I didn't like it because I wanted to play it. I mean, technically, I did play it, but I always preferred to play it on Xbox because that's just the place. I mostly play with my friends and stuff, so I don't have to keep going back from system to system. But I mean, in this world, I wish everybody could play everything. I do. I mean, because it doesn't matter. I don't care if like I got something and they don't got it. Like if some reason like Halo came to PlayStation, I wouldn't give a damn.
As long as your version on the Xbox still plays as well and is just fun, yeah.
Now, if it's a game that I want, because I do prefer the Xbox, well, I prefer the Xbox definitely now because of me being able to play on my PC and through the cloud and stuff on certain games. I'd rather have that. Because there was one point, like a few years, I was
and really, that's not even you caring about the Xbox. That's just you caring about the service that they're providing, which could be provided on the PlayStation.
Exactly. Because I wanted PlayStation to do the same thing. If PlayStation when it came out and like instead of all this tier shit, they had the same thing like Game Pass, I would be all for them. And and they had like a PC where I can play all their games. Because right now, a lot of games are locked that I have to have a PlayStation 5 to do it. To be able to do that. I can't play the PlayStation 5 games on a PC. So that's the problem. I want to do that. I want to make it so that how Microsoft's doing it for me, I don't have to get a Series X. I can just I can just upgrade my PC to start playing these games to be better, to play better on my PC. And I want PlayStation to do that. But yeah, they have every right to do it. Look, PlayStation has their exclusive. They do their deals with third party. And Microsoft did some deals too for third party. They did a deal with a Tomb Raider that kept it for a year, that it didn't come on PlayStation. I mean, these companies do that. Now, if you just say like you don't like that, like you don't like that all these games are being taken away, or like you don't like exclusives, that's fine. I'm not gonna argue with that. I see the benefit of exclusives, but I also understand like, yeah, I do want to play on any platform I buy. I get it. I mean, I think most people, and I count the internet, most people want that. They want to be able to, hey, they buy this console, they can play any game they see advertised, they want to play. Like, I wish I could play Mario on my damn Xbox. Or shit. Something like that. So,
same.
But that's not what the world we live in. So, like, I can't see, there's nothing totally wrong with what happened. I mean, it's business. It's like, it's not wrong what Microsoft is doing. I mean, unless you're saying it's wrong what Sony's been doing. What these companies been doing since their existence. That I know them to be doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what, I don't see this as like it's like an issue in that sense. It's just an issue in that, oh yeah, one day Call of Duty's like I'm on PlayStation. But by the time that happens, you have a choice of what system you probably want, because it's probably not going to be just a PS5 and Xbox Series X. Yeah. By the time that deal's over with, I don't know what the hell's going to be within the next how many years to say? When is this deal supposed to be up?
So they're saying 3 years past the current agreement.
That's what I'm saying. What's the current agreement?
That's like at least 1 year, possibly 2. So I would say somewhere between like 4 and 5 years we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell the state of things are going to be with anything. Like, yeah. I don't even know what the state of the game is going to be, because you always see like places raising the prices. That's the issue you should fucking have right now. Like, I wouldn't even give a goddamn. I'm thinking like, yo, what is going on? Like what's going on with them raising fucking prices and shit? Like, what's going on with hardware right now? Like, what's gaming going to be like in the near future for everyone? Because if I don't know if its seller is getting better with the hardware, with hardware being made. So, and then at that point, if some reason PlayStation has to go more digital, then that's not a big deal where you play shit at then at that point, because like, who cares that Microsoft owns Call of Duty? Because if you're just going to play it on PC anyway, because it's like all digital or on your phone,
yeah,
it don't matter.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to for me, is like, Microsoft, I keep saying it, but I feel like, especially if we're talking like 5 years down the line, Microsoft is going to be angling to get Game Pass everywhere. They've got it on their systems. They got it on the computer. They've got it on some TVs at this point. They're just going to be like, hey, if you want Call of Duty, you can have Call of Duty, but it's going to be through Game Pass on your PlayStation. And Sony's either going to have to agree to that, or they're just going to suck it up and not have Call of Duty anymore. And then they're going to have to explain to their players why they aren't, open to letting them play the game there. I think that's what Microsoft is going to be angling at. And you're already going to see kind of dissent from Sony players, because they're going to be looking at a $70 game. Meanwhile, you look over on the other side, and Xbox players are playing it as part of a thing that cost them $70 for 6 months to play,
Yeah.
So like it's going to be interesting. The game might still be there, and hopefully they do keep up the quality on the PlayStation and don't just put out like a shitty version of it. Hopefully you're looking at the same exact game across the two systems. But when you're looking at like that value difference, then you have to consider like, maybe I get an Xbox and I play Game Pass, or maybe I'd stream it on my PC. We could be at a point where you could play competitive shooters through streaming in that many years, So who knows?
Yeah. I mean, technically, people are already doing that.
Yeah.
And some with some games. But yeah, this is mean. I thought when Microsoft said, they was going to continue to be they was going to continue to be with Sony for so many years. I thought it was like, oh, that's good for them. I didn't realize it was like a freaking issue because then I'm being like, you know what, fuck it. I've been like, fuck
That's
it.
the other part is like, I wonder if they're just like, oh, well, you aired your grievances. As soon as this clears regulation, we're going to say, nope, sorry. We didn't sign anything, so fuck off. You're not happy with this, then we're not going to do it for you.
Did he a bitch about, we want Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Wolverine to come.
We want the Final Fantasy remake.
God of War. Give me what's that biker game called? Give me that one. The Last of Us. Maybe you made that so you could run it on the Xbox. I don't know.
And we want Death Stranding on our console, not just the PC.
We want the Death Stranding director's
Yeah, because look at that. In that deal, that probably was Sony said they like console, but they must have figured out a workaround and say, hey, we was going to have an Xbox on PC, Game Pass on PC.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be them. Because I want to make sense. You would just put it on Xbox, period.
It's crazy times, Dominic. It's crazy times. I wonder if Phil Spencer is going to, or Microsoft in general is going to have a reply to this, or that they're just going to leave it at that and move on.
And you know how it's funny because based on the internet, nobody plays Call of Duty anymore. I mean, like commenters, like those commenters who are all fighting for Sony, but they know that, but they know they were lying at the T because they mad that it's gone because they know like either you play Call of Duty or you just it's bad because people going to not buy the system anymore because they were Call of Duty fans because people play Call of Duty.
Yep.
Everybody keeps saying how like Call of Duty was done. I mean, if you don't like I said that too. I mean, but I'm saying like it's done for me. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know it's still fucking popular. Cause goddamn, it's still like be like the best selling games. And I still when I go on Twitch, I still see Call of Duty's up there. I always see Warzone now.
Yep.
Like I know that's still the most like popular game. Like for a pay, like one of the most popular paid games.
Yeah, they know the power.
Warzone technically free to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now they got that. Now they got that battle. So they still got a paid game that still sells, and they got that. Like people still play the game. I mean, it's like it's hardcore gamers who are like down, but you're not the market for consoles. You might work out for like certain PC games, and then like the PC that, but for console game like hard console gamers, you're not the full market.
Yeah. Yep. So gonna be interesting, Dominic. It's gonna be interesting. Jim Ryan out here with some sour grapes.
That's that's so weird that like him literally going out with like saying things like that. I don't know.
I can't believe Microsoft says they want people to play games wherever because they don't want them to play them on PlayStation. Boo-hoo.
Yeah. That's silly. You're too much in a position of power to be talking like that, Jim Ryan.
I bet he ain't doing an interview with somebody gonna ask him like some hard questions.
It's unacceptable. All right, let's sit these guys down in a room, Dominic. SUPAPod exclusive Jim Ryan versus Phil Spencer debate. Get him on Twitch.
Jim Ryan. He's a traitor. Where's he from?
England, I think.
Still, he's traitor to them then. He's a traitor.
Yep. He's in mourning right now, Dominic. We can't get answers out of him because he's in mourning.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right. All right, Dominic. Did you see any other news for the week?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. We got new releases here. We got Biomutant that's now out on the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
So those versions. I'm about to say, I was like, wait a minute. Did this game come out or was it delayed and I forgot?
Nope. It's been out a while. That's that like raccoon looking thing.
And it turned out to be like what, mediocre, right? Or mediocre, like slightly like, good. Maybe.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of games that came out a long time ago and are back, the Tomorrow Children Phoenix Edition for the PS4, Dominic. Do you remember the Tomorrow Children?
Was that the Russian one?
Yes.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it. So it did release.
Yep. I don't know why. What are people doing with this game?
Is it good?
Let's see if there's
I was interested in it when I saw
it.
it. But then I just didn't hear nothing about it.
Like, I played the beta or whatever for it that one time, and it was like, I don't know what's happening in this game. And, yeah, I don't know. Let's see if they're
2016. It's been that long?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Good God. And, it got 54. Jesus.
It's got a 60 on Push Square. That's the only like website review they have right now. And a 7.2 user, but they're showing oh no, there's a 10 and an 8. How does that equal out to 7.2? I don't know. Maybe they just don't rate review. Oh, okay, you can rate it, but not actually put a review. So.
Yeah, IGN gave it like a 5.2. GameSpot gave it a 3. Man.
Yeah. So it's interesting that they brought that back, but it's also very
Hope the Phoenix Edition turned out to be good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rising
did anybody
from the ashes, Dominic?
I mean, was Push Square based on the latest one?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Oh.
That's
well, then I don't know. I mean,
better, but not good.
Yeah. Yeah, that is better.
All right, improvements can't fix everything is the headline of the Push Square. All right, next up, Dominic, we have BPM Bullets Per Minute. That is now out on the Switch.
The heck is that?
Shooter, but rhythm based, kind of like the heavy metal one. But
it was on other systems.
Yeah, I think it had previously come out on PC. And then I'm thinking it must have came out on the other stuff too.
But it came on the newer systems too. But it was PS4, Xbox One, PC, and it's on the Series X and PS5.
Yeah, so that seems all right. Back to the notes. We also have NBA 2K23. I've got 33 on here. That's excessive. Definitely not that.
Scottie Pippen edition.
And that's coming out.
Oh, you heard about the rumor?
PC. What's that?
The rumor? Yes, do some TMZ rumors. You got.
Oh no!
I saw a picture of Michael Jordan's son, which appears to be like he went on a date with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Scottie Pippen's ex-wife,
or current. I don't know if they still together.
I thought you were going to say daughter.
Yeah, well, it seemed like she. You know what? I don't because I don't really know.
She's only 20.
No, well, here's the thing. No, she's not that. Because I'm not really in the know to these relationship stuff. I'm not really into this, but I saw it on Twitter. But apparently, it seems like she's a person who gets around. I mean, but not okay. I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but
right.
She goes for these younger guys.
She is known to find multiple partners.
I think did somebody say she was a Future or something?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like she cheated on Scottie Pippen with Future. I think that was a thing. But I'm like, what? If it's true, I was like, damn. Somebody's like, she has no shame. No shame. That's crazy. If it's true, but I mean, I'm just talking and just joking around. But yeah, Michael Jordan 23. This was the Michael Jordan edition. You see, got a Madden edition, Madden.
Yeah.
And then a Michael Jordan edition, NBA 2K 23. With that, you got two big ones. Unfortunately, I know the Madden one's not that good. I mean, people are not liking this new Madden. I mean, they haven't been liking Madden for years, and it doesn't look like they're improving much on that. It's damn sad that. I mean, because people, I guess people just really into that Madden Ultimate Team stuff. Maybe they're just making enough money on that because they don't seem to give a fuck about Franchise Bowl. Even though every year they keep saying, "Oh yeah, we put in more in Franchise Bowl.
We do
doing
better this time."
I'm like, dude, you have a blueprint of games that came on PS2 that was better than what you got now. Like, you literally just need to look at what did we do then, and just just do what they did, and you have the better graphics.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I don't know, but I wonder how people are gonna like 2K23. I know my friend, he gets it every year, so he's going to tell me about it.
Nice. And I forgot to mention it when we talked about PGA Tour 2K23 with Tiger Woods on the cover, but Michael Jordan's going to be in that as well.
What?
Yeah.
How about? Oh yeah, I see. If Charles Barkley, he's not even in 2K because he believed that they're not getting enough money for the older players,
okay.
Something like that. So he's not in there. So darn, because I would love to see have the Charles in PGA and have them do that swing, in that game. They got Michael Jordan playing golf. Oh my goodness. Yeah. They're gonna have Steph Curry in there too because he's a golfer.
He's gonna play mini golf.
Yeah. What's that game show? What's that the game show?
Yeah.
Host.
Where's my hole or something?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Holy moly. Holy
yeah,
moly.
something like that. It's something like that, yeah.
Who stuck that in my hole? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic. And then we got Splatoon 3. That's now out on the Switch.
Oh, yeah. Finally out, man. I don't know if I'm going to be getting it. But, I mean, not now. Maybe later on or something. But
I want to read more about how that single player turned out. And,
I haven't really seen reviews. Like, I haven't been looking for it. I mean, I think I saw Game Informer has a review up now. But I'm curious of, the single player. So I feel like I'm going to like the multiplayer. But as long as they didn't shut down 2 yet and people are still playing it, I'll jump on there. I kind of do want to just jump on and play now.
Get your fix a little bit. Yeah. You got the itch again now that we're talking about.
Because I didn't play 2 as much as I thought I would. I was going pretty good, but then I just stopped. And then I just didn't really go back to it. So that's why this one, I'm like, maybe I'll just wait. See.
Yeah. I gotcha. All right. So those are our new releases for the week. Dominic, you got anything else for the people?
Nah, I'm good, man.
All right. As always, thank you guys for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at SUPAPod, SUPAPod. SUPAPod.com is the website. You can check us out there. There's links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the places you find audio podcasts. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.